folks, welcome back to Mind Keep and Reads, and this is my September book haul. I'm going to start off, I did acquire physical books, but I'll start off with a quick list of the ebooks that I acquired. I'm just going to list them because, as you'll know from my September wrap up, if you've seen it, I basically bought and read a lot of ebooks straight up because they were Jane Austen variations and I was in a mood at the end of September. So very, very quickly, the ebooks that I acquired in September were Chaos Comes to Kent, The Angel of Longbourn, The Companion, and In the Wilds of Derbyshire, which are all by Jann Rowland. And I also acquired Revisit Mansfield Park, How Fanny Married Henry by Sarah Ozcandarli. There are a couple more that I'm not counting because I kind of started them, got angry with them and went nope. So they really aren't counting as acquisitions either. They're just like, no, done. So that's those five. Because I read all of them at once, I did actually still beat my target to read more than I acquired. So that was 5 books. 5 books, yes, 5 ebooks that all read. And then I acquired another 5. So 10 overall, I think. I think that's all I acquired. I definitely... Yeah, no, I know that I definitely beat the target. I just can't remember exactly how many I read last month. But anyway, so I acquired these. So the first 2 you will have seen in my previous unboxings, but from our crate I acquired Before She Ignites by Jodi Meadows, which is a YA fantasy about a girl who is born as the hope of her people and is associated with a peace treaty, and then she finds out some stuff and everything goes kind of wrong and she gets thrown in prison and there are dragons. So yay, dragons. So I'm kind of looking forward to picking that one up. And my other unboxing one was from the Never Never book box teaser, and that was Tracy M. Joyce's Altaica, which is the first in the Chronicles of Altaica, which is another fantasy involving racism and superstition and an adventure to find out where the main character belongs. So yeah, that's another fantasy one that I am hoping to pick up at some stage. And then, of course, what happened was I went to Conflux at the end of the month, and it actually straddled the month. So this will not be my entire Conflux haul because some of them were bought in September and some of them were bought in October because the Conflux weekend straddled the 2 months. But on the Saturday of Conflux, which was in September, I went on a little field trip that was organised to a second-hand bookstore in Fyshwick here in Canberra, which I'd never heard of but apparently has been around for over 20 years. And it's called Canty's. And it's amazing. It's so overwhelming. Next time I go, and I will definitely go again, I'm going to have to take a list and actually be organised because I just walked in and was completely overwhelmed because the books were to the ceiling on the walls and there were piles in the aisles between bookshelves, and yeah, and there were like 3 different rooms and it was just amazing. So I definitely want to go again, but I acquired these 3 books. So the only science fiction and fantasy one that I acquired was this, which is Revisionary, which is by HInes and is the 4th book in the Magic Ex Libris series. Now this series is one of the ones that is on my list of series that I haven't finished yet. I have read the first 2 books. I read them a while back. I have not yet read the 3rd book, so I am going to have to acquire that. But this is the 4th book, which, you know, I picked up because it was there and it was secondhand and, you know, I know it's on my list. So yeah, the Magic Ex Libris series is a series about a bunch of librarians who can reach into books and pull things out of books magically. But, you know, that also comes with the danger of what if you pull out something dangerous. So a lot of books in this universe are actually locked so that you cannot pull stuff out of them. And it's the adventures of one of these librarians and this friend, some of his friends, including a nymph or a dryad or something or other, who gets pulled out of a book as an acorn and grows, and, you know, so stuff happens. And there's like a fire spider and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's been a while since I've read the first 2 books, but yeah, it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to picking this series up again when I actually pick up book 3. And then the other two books, well, this one is not going on my TBR because I am A, have already read it, B, already have copies of it, and C, I'm currently in the middle of rereading it via audiobook. But it's Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and this is the Norton Critical Edition. My physical copy of Northanger Abbey is a very, very battered secondhand copy that's probably falling apart. Not because I've read it, but because that's the version I've ended up picking up, because Northanger Abbey is probably my least favourite Jane Austen. Although, you know, I'm currently rereading it for the third time. Yeah, only 3 times, but I have reacted to it completely differently every single time I've read it. However, my English department at my university where I'm doing another Bachelor of Arts, they tend to use the Norton editions as the preferred text for studying English, because they come with a whole bunch of sort of contextual documents and reviews and essays and stuff in the actual book about the text. So, you know, I don't know if this will turn up as something to study in my English degree, but I love talking about Jane Austen. I love reading about Jane Austen, and I kind of love studying Jane Austen, the little bit I've done. So I think having the Norton edition around will be very handy in my library. So that is not going on the TBR, that is going straight on my shelves, and that's Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, which of course is the Gothic satire. So the satire of Gothic novel starring Catherine Morland and her love of Mr. Tilney. So yeah, that's that. And the final one I picked up at Canty's is Elizabeth Barrett Browning's Selected Poems, edited by Marjorie Stone and Beverly Taylor. You've heard me before probably talking about the fact that I took a long time to find any editions of Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poetry. I recently picked up an edition, a Penguin edition, of some of her poems, which I have not yet actually got around to reading. This is a different publisher, a Broadview edition, and I believe it comes with some reviews and other sort of notes and stuff about it as well. So it's got some of the same poems as my other edition, but, you know, I love Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poetry, have ever since I studied it about a year or 2 ago. And so I'll collect as many editions of her poetry, particularly her political poetry, as I can. So this one does have some of her political poetry in it. So stuff like The Cry of the Children, The Runaway Slave at Pilgrim's Point, which that poem made me cry. Yeah, so it's got a whole bunch of, essays and notes and stuff as well, so that should be really interesting. And that is my book haul for September. So the I will say that my October book haul is already sort of gaining a pace, so I should probably restrain myself. But yeah, I will probably see you again soon. Is it next weekend? I can never remember, but coming up soon is the Dewey's Readathon for October. So you'll be seeing a TBR and then a sort of vlog or wrap-up video of that. I'm not sure what other kind of videos I am going to do this month, but probably some, at least one. Of course, there'll be my Arkwright unboxing. And yeah, so I will see you again really soon. Bye.